So you're pretty injury prone in general. You know,
Well, it's gotten better, but yeah,
Fucking hit by a car.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else going on. Like, what are you gonna do? Sit at home, beat your dick, or are you gonna watch See Forecast?
Shut up and sit down.
Well, before we say that though, so my memory of us being blackout drunk in College Park, right, is Dean would like to run. Dean's a runner. Dean runs. Okay, if Dean wants to if Dean wants to play a game of tag or whatever, it's on. Dean fucking bolts. He runs. So I remember leaving the bar several times, and Dean would get this little like weird smile like on his face, and then he would just like exactly sort of like that, and then he would just fucking run. He would just bolt, and like he would like run across Route One, like playing like live Frogger, like in between jumping past cars and stuff. I remember one time in particular, we were at Seastone. He crosses the street, runs across the street one way, runs back across the other way, and then on the third try goes back across again, and then headbutts some random dude that was sitting on like one of the 4-foot high walls that exists there for no reason whatsoever. And then the dude gets up and starts trying to run after you, and you just keep running down Route 1, and I'm chasing you. I'm chasing the guy chasing you, and that guy finally gives up, and then I finally catch up to you. But it's sad to say your Frogger days, I guess, caught up with you at one point, right?
Yeah. So it was after undergrad. So it was just, what was I doing? I was actually back home in Baltimore, in a tiny little town. I'm just kidding. It's called Towson, Maryland. It's a little college town, not really little, but at the bars, some high school friends who are just complete degenerates. So obviously we just get dumb shit faced hammered, and I remember standing outside the bars, and then that was it. Like after they let out, I'm just standing there. My friend's just like harassing his ex-girlfriend because that's what you do.
that's
I'm
so
just
wrong.
like I don't want to deal with this. Oh, him and his exes are just very healthy relationships, obviously, all the time. So he's getting into one of those situations. I'm like, all right, later. And I just start walking. It's like a 2.5-3 mile walk to my friend's house, who I'm going to crash at. And I guess like 2 miles of the way there, I guess I'm walking in a road. I don't remember this yet. Knock the fuck out. But I was just walking in a road, and just a car sideswiped me, and I went flying.
What the fuck?
And yeah, like they took off. I took off their I removed their what's the side mirror called?
The side mirror?
Yeah, okay, side mirror.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, see,
Right, cool.
To this day, he's still fucked now.
Yeah, so that was gone. And then this guy, because obviously you're not awake at 2 a.m. in a college town or college city unless you're hammered. So this guy is obviously drunk driving and just took off. And then somebody in an Uber said, like, oh, it looked like somebody just hit a deer over there. Let's go make sure it wasn't a person. And no, sure enough, it's a person. They call the ambulance. I wake up in the ICU, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. Can I feel my legs? Yes, I can feel my legs. All right, cool. But basically, yeah, what happened to me besides that? I mean, I had a brain bruise, so I was partially bleeding in my head. Some like rib fractures, bruised lung.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna die. I didn't know anything. Someone just was like, "Dean got hit by a car." I was like, "Oh fuck, he's dead."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I was like, "Shit!" I didn't even get to say goodbye. He's dead.
Yeah, no, it was weird.
No, but you got fucked up pretty good by that though.
Yep, that was my whole left side, and like I think since then my whole left side has been like way out of whack, and I think I ended up tearing my left hamstring because I was lifting unevenly for years, and like yeah, it's been a mess.
It's been a left side deed is a curse, right? The ankle, the wrist.
Yeah,
hit by the car on that side.
Yeah, but ever since, I mean, it's been 5 years since the car injury, and then like 2 or 3 since the hamstring tear, and I've been good. I'm good so far.
It's the broga. That's what it is.
Yes, I started doing yoga immediately after that hamstring tear. It's been good. I've I've gotten a little hurt here and there playing soccer. One time I got pissed off and took a shot at somebody, and I just ended up like, it almost seemed like I broke my foot, but no, I think it just got rested swollen for a little while.
But so to be fair though, I'm convinced that was not your fault at all. By the way,
I was in the road, I think.
yeah, but pedestrians have right of way, right?
So like
the
it was
first time, hold on, real quick though, the first time I heard this story, I assumed you were crossing at a crosswalk like a respectable gentleman, in a well lit area, and that was apparently not the case, right?
No, I think I was in that area and thinking about crossing, and then I just kind of didn't see the chance. And when it was like a 2-lane highway, and I should have crossed, and then I just kept walking. I think, and then it ended up in like the sidewalk stopped, and then I ended up in a shoulder, and I think that shoulder quickly turned into an on ramp to a highway. So it went from 2-lane like 30-mile-an-hour road to like 4-lane 40-mile-an-hour road entrance to a highway, and I think that car was changing lanes to get onto the highway and didn't see me because it probably wasn't well lit at this point and just swiped me.
Yeah, so that was probably not the best place to cross the street, probably.
Well, there's this thing about alcohol that really makes your judgment a little bit worse.
Very poor, yeah. So the other thing I remember is like the first couple weeks that you came back, right, to campus or whatever, when we were in grad school, I think it was. We would always go get burritos on Wednesday because was it half off or was it free? I forget.
Half off.
It was half off
Half
at
off.
what was the place called?
Qdoba.
Windows. Oh,
Qdoba.
Qdoba. That's
yeah,
right.
Qdoba. Yeah, because they had
I'm thinking.
they had
Sorry.
the cheese, the what's it called? The liquid cheese.
Queso.
Queso.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we would always go to Qdoba all the time. So like, he comes back in the car or whatever. We're driving over to Qdoba, and at one point he just looks at me and he goes, "I just feel dumb."
Dude, I was bleeding in my head.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, he looked fine to me, and I didn't know the details of it. I just knew he got hit by a car. Thought he was dead. Then somebody was like, "No, he's fine." And then he's in my car, and I'm like, "Oh, he's fine." And he just looks at me. He's like, "I feel dumb," and I'm like, "Oh my god, is this kid retarded now? Like, what happened to him?"
I also spent a week on anti-seizure medication, it's sort of preventative.
Yep, that's
thing,
probably standard. I would assume if you get head trauma, right?
Head trauma care is very new. It's a very new field, and I was lucky that I ended up at a really good hospital that knew what to do.
Yeah, you didn't go to PG County. That was the key.
Yes. Yeah, I ended up at Mount Sinai, Maryland, which is like one of the best
world premier hospital complexes, right?
So, effectively, yeah. So, yeah, taking anti-seizure medication also makes you very dumb. It felt like getting a lobotomy, or what I imagined that would be like.
So like for several weeks here, it was just the running theme was Dean it was odd because like you were smart enough to know you were dumb, which just blew my mind, right? Like you were smart enough to know that you were off. So
yeah, but it's like I was writing my thesis to graduate, to get my master's, and I clearly just didn't understand anything anymore. I was just, this is so fucked. And there was just an obvious distinction, like, wow, yeah, I can't do any of the things that I was just doing.
Yeah, yeah.